to Mon Vlogs. So welcome back to the channel, guys. As I said yesterday in the book review, at the end I was going to do a part 2 of the Scorch trials, chapters 14 to 27. So let's get into the vlog. So okay, what happened? So in the first chapters 1 to 13, at the end the boys are getting ready to leave their dorm and go on these Scorch trials. So what happens after that? The boys go through the flat. Sorry, can't read my own writing. The flat trans in a hurry. Iris tries to talk to Thomas in a telepathically way, but unfortunately Thomas doesn't want to talk to him at the moment, so he refuses. As they're going and they left their dorm, they go through a dark tunnel, a very, very dark tunnel with no lights. As going through the tunnel, they hear a voice that says, "Go back, otherwise you'll be sliced." Boys obviously are wondering what's going on. Is this a test? And as they think it's a test, they continue going forward. While they're going forward, the boys hear one of the boys scream. He eventually continues screaming and then falls to the floor. And then Thomas and his friends realize his head has been chopped off and replaced with a ball of metal. What's all this about? Anyways, and then no one knows, as I said, no one knows what happens. So then the boys continue going through the tunnel as quickly as possible. Then another death of ball comes and gets another boy. Once they get to the end of the tunnel, Mino finds the trapdoor, opens the door and reveals sunlight. While they get out of the tunnel, they see a giant ball of silver liquid, which flies and hits one of the boys called Winston in the face. The boy watches and sees what the other boys watch and see what happens, and what the death ball actually does. Outside the tunnel, the sun is very unbearable, and the boys wrap themselves up so they don't want to get suntan and get burnt. Eventually, they see the wasteland in all different directions. They also see different mountains as well. Eventually, they find out there are different diseases of the flare on the set. Then Thomas hears a girl screaming, which is really random, but eventually everyone else hears the same. And then the wailing continues on till the next day as they move forwards to the town. So as they're going through this tunnel and the Scorch trying to get to the Scorch trials and everything, they see in the far distance a town. So they're trying to move forward so they can go into the town, find help, find other people that can help them out. Suddenly the screaming stops and a girl steps out in front of them from one of the buildings. Thomas goes to meet the girl by himself to check if the girl is really Teresa. Turns out she is Teresa indeed. Before Thomas reaches her, she returns to the shack. Teresa tells Thomas they must leave, must run away. Thomas leaves but promises he will find her again. He returns and does not tell the boys anything. Eventually they go sleep. Then when Thomas wakes up, his sheet has blown away. The source of the wind is a storm. Clouds gather overhead. The boys then find a man laying blankets on the ground. Thomas asks if it is safe to go into the town. Man replies that there is a storm ahead, bad people needing to stay away. So he obviously lets Thomas and his friends know you can go to the town if you really want to, but do not go because it's not safe right now. The boys ignore this and they still continue going on into the town, and they reach the town. As they reach, lightning starts. The lightning eventually falls to the ground, hitting the boys who are falling left, right and center. They find the other boys obviously see all this, so they try to find shelter somehow. As they find shelter, the rain starts. They stay to recover and realize only 7 boys are left. So somehow eventually someone else comes into the in the shelter where they are, a boy called George, and apparently he is the crank in charge. So Mino then tries to beat up George, and then George's cranks, his crew, reveal themselves. Thomas asks George, "Can I speak to you for 10 minutes?" Thomas then tells George everything about what's happened to them and how it's all going, and asks George to help them out so they can receive the cure too. So they can help George out to receive and cure him somehow. And if George will help them get the cure of the flare, of this disease. George eventually agrees, but insists that Mino must die in the process. So guys, that was the ending of those chapters. It's quite short, but anyways, yeah, so that's what happens. Now we're thinking, what happens next? So what's going to happen to Mino? Is he going to die, as George says, because he's in charge of the cranks, or he is one of the cranks, but he's in charge. So is he going to kill Mino? Is someone else going to kill Mino? Yeah, so as he says, Mino must die in the process. So what's going to happen, guys? I'm not sure because I've not read any more just yet. I will read more, and yeah, so what will happen next? Stay tuned to find out next week on Thursday what's going to happen next. And yeah, so we got another week of reading, guys, and to find out what happens next, whether Mino dies soon, or does he, like, you know, drag along with all the boys and then eventually dies, or what happens, how many boys are left at the end. So yeah, as they're going along, what's the next sort of test for them, and whether it's a test, whether it's reality, don't know. So yes, to find out more, stay tuned on my channel, and next Thursday I will reveal more. So anyways, guys, just before I go, love you all, take care, guys, peace out. Also, don't forget, this weekend I might come out with more baking and cooking vlogs, and then after that I'll see you on Tuesday. So stay tuned on my channel, guys. Love you all, take care, bye, peace out.